the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
And ye kopie mu ewo court ni nyina Dr. Kessel Atoforsen a yese wabo oman ne ka 2.37 million euros na sade ne ayenum no asenie no eguso a ekoso ene ye kopie mu ewo court no ade se judge na one ete adwam her lordship Justice Sewa Asaribotwe agitum se afede saa audio no a NBC amanyekuo no de ba betu edwa se eji ene Richard Jakpa ekokohia se nka omwa no na nka omfa yera Dr. Kessel Atoforsen entum no won agya tum se afede won ebetimi de ababedi adanse ewo court na eba unexpected no ene na Richard Jakpa enim se ebi kro obekwa akodina adaka mu asan bisa no the same question ono audio no odeba betu edwa no na ekam ye se ene papa no ekopie mu ono ekodi adanse kodina adaka mu na waye confused kakra about questions na ye bisa no na now questions bebre na ye bisa papa na ye bisa papa ne se Judge, her lordship, Justice Sewa Asaribotwe say audio no otie ne 10 times. Ebu baby ani ho ono ote se yewa Godfred ye boadame ka ten se boame na yemfa Dr. Kessel Atoforsen enko tum na how come say ehɔ ne de went ni an record ehɔ no amfa nka ho and two question yesan ebisa na ebio ne say come here say nsam ono eba audio nim na oka ho asem ene de obegina adaka oka ho asem no come here say edifa kakra because ni nyina etwa kowie say attorney general eba ne nchen say omwa no na yemfa Dr. Kessel Atoforsen emfa entu now ehɔ no ama recording nim no ono nso yebisa no o say one yewura Godfred Yebo Adame ehia 10 times ena one yewura Godfred Yebo Adame ekokohia enti se enya saa enetie ne ete se de ono eka no ne se wamfa evidence bia ama because audio ne nso anka saa ate se de yewura Godfred Yebo Adame Jakpa de betu ja se Yebo Adame ebehia no omudi nkomo nti se evidence bia ni ho a ono ede beta akire se ampa yewura Godfred Yebo Adame ene no ekokohia na won agitu mu de ana kire se yewura Richard Jakpa etwa ntro ene ede ato Godfred Yebo Adame so because nsem no oka no enya ade so odimu evidence ba kokora ba bepie mu ewoko because audio no boy ne de emu ba bia ni ho a yewura Godfred Yebo Adame ka kire ne se boame na mintini emfa yewura Dr. Kessel Atoforsen ntumti se eba saade a na ekame se yewura Richard Jakpa nsem no oka no oni evidence bi anti afei na eye de se ukotwa ntro ewa bra asem no enye no kra punishment bi ewo ho ana se punishment bia emi ho punishment ewo ho ayede be ma when you lie under oath the church wa commit perjury me no ka say de ba bi ansem no ekeka ko no ya yehu pa na yenkonye nkotie ewa bra court nsem no ekoso
this answer ho and a minority leader Kessel Atoforsen wano any businessman Richard Jakpa chirim and was me won chirim en chiremu ni nyina ene se nanka se ne fata se contract o mo sign ye no sa campaign na di ambulances no eba no omunya ebedu Ghana ha airport the support ho na de aka ni nyina no se Ghana ban ene be kwakọ clear o clear wi a na afei campaign no amomo nkrofo a technical team no aba no ma be training e de ama Ghana for na afi one fixing machines ni nyina wom ebedu porter yese ma me Shelley ayite then time health minister ese contract ne kura no yentwam ansa enema na akoka ho eno aye kwa aye ma wo kire mu a kire se ono a ne cousin Justice Yoni Kolende owo fie anwumere bi eno friend wo telephone so say obi person ni di nkomo o se hwana o so de age me o de me de ma no wo je na ya attorney general eno ni di nkomo a wo se abufuo baaye e mo kate line no ne braji phone na pe no se bomadi anso bebe fi wo so no atu ni car e drive ye e fi ni fie ho anadwo be du mienu anadwo e no drive ya call Justice Yoni Kolende fie osi okwa no odi kan ka che ne se me mpese me ba na Attorney General e wo fie ho e no si obra no ni ho okodu ye osi owura ho ape na se eji e na te akonwam e wo ni benkum so osi e no to shock pa e no gina ho na afọ mpese obekọ e na ofa ne cousin no oye ne wo fa so ho osi ne wo fa ka che ne se
ne che se ne maame enua
ba was say no ka chen so bra betenase ofase bra betenase ne ni nkomo was say nkomo bone koso amadu ba bi no nkomo boni mu e na AG ka chen se no kre eye pressure o say enka ni finance minister Ken Oforiata eno mampani e na emma ne pressure pa e se ne tie bia owura to forcing one package bi na won fa ne hyem nti nka omwa na asem ne ka no na enye kama wofa ene cross examination no wakeka ne nsem nyina ne edi kan se de awia medi kan ka che se court no agisa audio no tape no recording no wage edi atum se Attorney General enso ebe cross examination oya eni ebehu baabi ebe kwakosi na ebra cross examination ene lawyer atoforce na lawyer for area cross examination no afei na director of public prosecution DPP Yvonne Atakra Obobisa efiase first question obisa ani say onimsa asem no ye be file case no e wo court 2021 we yi ano say ani ye wie ye no ye ne deputy attorney general Alfred Tuan ye bo a edi nkomo na nchemu sei e no ne nsɛmtwerɛfo e kasa
there and wait for our side of the matter and you be mindful. You rested there.
The audio, you didn't want the judge to readmit it into evidence. That has happened. Are you disappointed?
Oh, the judge has given the ruling. That's how the law works. If you think you don't want something to be admitted, you raise an objection. This is the duty of the judge to make a pronouncement of such objections. The judge has done so.
You didn't want it because you felt it wouldn't do well for your case. How bad or damaging is this admission of the audio to your case?
Not at all, because this audio is something that you have heard, isn't it? Having to heard it. So what is in it? By about procedure. So in terms of the content, we are not minded by that because it's something that is in the public domain. But as to whether you can tender a recorded or screen recorded audio is something that we don't want to contest, because that's why we're talking about law, not about public sentiments, whether you are comfortable, you're not comfortable. It's about due process. The judge says that that's due process can be tendered.
Akwa HM say no krepa ene say ambulances no ene aka port ho mfinhia mako enwotwenie say Ghana yesika no eno an say nze ye twetwene left right center e wo ho saa ofa nyame ya doma ebenada ye besen akọ na DPP atoa na sembisa no we cross examination
asemu a owura Oath-Jakpa kai no asem na ehu pa o se nka ehọ no ba tape no mu pa de nka se na ka ehu wa so akọ yule Kolende fie no na abanlo ya pani ka kire wo no Oath-Jakpa ne se omampani na de pressure atum so ene konofura tate pressure atum so se yanya na ye asem ne yanka to force nshem enti
ye de ni shem o se ye de ni shem ahun so fa ye mra na kire se ye de obi shema se 6 months to elections dia ye betimi aye by election nanka honi aye by election no bi san say na central region by election mo be ye den e na mo wi no so ho e pon discussion
and some na
these were the worst of
na do tia na be eno na do tia say na be han pa ya nko ya da so
about some years back. I would attend to issues that are very important with a lot of emotional orientation or approach. But over the years, I have learned that what your heart can beat over, if the mind handles it, it can be solved without you having palpitations or a higher heart rate. So I'll give my brother advice.
You learned that in medical school?
Over the years, it comes with experience.
Okay.
So there are things I used to make noise about, or I would approach very emotionally. But I've come to learn that the mind can do better than the heart. So I'll beg of him. And you see, in communication too, if I had spoken first, in terms of the issues for the day, and I'd not address this in a way that shows that I'm concerned. It was okay to go like this. But you came prepared and unleashed everything on the table, creating the impression that I've gone to sleep on the matter when I've not even given information yet on what I have done about it.
The facts are very annoying.
Oh, I know. Of course, I'm privy to the facts. You know. But what I want to quickly say is that there was an issue he finished with at the bottom. I'll bring that up.
Okay.
Where he said he cares about his pregnant women, and me, I'm talking about people who try. Of course. I mean, I brought businessmen together to buy a new ambulance at about $90,000. I did it because I've seen pregnant women struggle to even get transferred to reach. So action is more powerful. So, I mean, that's the kind of person I am. I've not lost any part of my heart in this politics. Doc, let me start by saying that the PRO's information is not accurate, and it's not to undermine his work, but it's because in dealing with this container thing, it is dynamic. So you have containers at the ports. You go to finance, they'll tell you, okay, take these cheats. These cheats will now allow you to clear 80 containers. You get there, they'll tell you there's third-party charges. And so the information I have is because the release has not gone out yet. Otherwise, I have the draft here. I left the office yesterday at about 11, just to make sure that all the information and draft is ready to go out this morning. It's not too appropriate, but I'll send you the draft. It has all the information. So apparently on the 10th of June, Finance sent the ministry 7.4 million Ghana cedis.
3 days ago.
Yes. Transferred money, which was meant to handle the third-party charges, which even if they've given the exemption, must be paid. And so when I called them 2 days ago, what they told me was that, Doc, although the money has come, government has a give me system that used to pay for such things. You can't go and say take the money. And that when they called, they are told give me is down and that by the end of this week. That's why the gentleman mentioned that the TB container is cleared. In fact, the draft that will come out, the containers that contain medicines are 3. 2 anti-malaria, ACT, that's a artemisinin combination for malaria, 2 containers. 1 is the TB. And guess what? This 7.4 million is meant to clear those ones. So although the money has been given to us, it's not gone through for it to come out of the port. So if George says that they are at the port, it is true. And if the gentleman says that there's no TB at the TB container, his anticipation, this payment thing has not gone through yet. But Doc, I'll say 2 things, 2 very important things. We, as a ministry, I insist, we are better than what we have experienced with these containers.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The Ministry of Health, in terms of the personnel there and the potential the ministry have for Ghana, Ghana's Ministry of Health, is way better in terms of capacity than what it has witnessed over the past 1 year with these containers. What I mean is that we could have done better.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, I'm not someone who plays around with my work. So straight away, I've told in fact, when I was not even there, I called some of them and told them this joke that is happening, you guys should wake up. I was not happy with what is happening. You know what I mean? 2 things accounted for what was experienced. Of course, if leadership was perfect, this shouldn't have happened. I choose my words well. So I myself personally have a serious problem with what we've seen. There was inefficiency. There's a unit that handles our external partners when it comes to things that they are bringing to this country and all that. I do admit that this exemption bill put some layer of some previously that layer was not there. Things that used to pass through freely now had to be paid for. But it's not too much of an excuse. Even if the layer is there, like George was saying, there are motions you can trigger to make sure that these things come. So the unit that was handling our relationship with our partners, Global Fund, Gavi and all that, immediately arrived. Within 48 hours, the key person there is gone. Without delay, I told the chief director, this guy has no business here. So he's gone. If you check with the ministry, the one who is the obodo there is gone. For the past 7 years, that's the gentleman that was in charge of the place. I told him this cannot be tolerated. And then secondly, the other issue. So 2 issues accounted for what has happened. No. The relationship between the finance ministry and the Ministry of Health could be way better. You know what I mean? That's the way I work. Everywhere I go, I'm frank. I tell all my people, these are your challenges. If you don't admit them, you can't go anywhere. No. The truth is that because sometimes there are third-party charges that must come in, which are not necessarily budgeted for in our line. Sometimes they come up even in the process. The best way to get solution quickly is to have a very harmless seamless relationship with the finance minister. And when I was in Geneva a few weeks ago, the Global Fund head, Mark, he told me, Doc, your country is one of the poster countries when it comes to health indicators. In all the indicators and primary health systems, we use you as an example for others. They just cannot understand how Ghana, who they always put out there as an example, has gone through what we've gone through. And even cited Nigeria and said he was with the Nigerian Minister of Health. He virtually handles this there. If any issue comes up online with IT such that he resolves issues within 72 hours. And I confided in him that before I even came to Geneva, some of the people handling these matters, we've tried to quickly relocate them. And he told me that, Doc, even their team in Ghana, the relationship between their team and our team has not been smooth. And I told him I've been at the ministry before, so luckily I have an idea. That's why I made changes before even coming to Geneva. And this was my assurance to him, that there's absolutely no way I would sit in this country and let this container stay in the port beyond June. This month they must come out. And why did I say beyond June? If I had my own way this morning or 3 days ago, I arrived in town Saturday, Doc. No, in fact, Friday late evening. Because from Geneva, just this Friday late evening. Monday, I told my team to get ready. Tuesday, we are going to finance ministry. I spent 2 hours at the finance ministry with the chief director, Madam Eva Mens. And you know what I told my team? That's how I work. Ideally, you think I'll be sitting with Amin. I have an idea of those who handle departments and make things move. Amin is at the top. Whatever you tell Amin, he will sit with her chief director to move things. And they were.
This is the same ministry. I'm told that within WHO that we have money with them.
Yes.
And
the vaccines.
Yeah, there's some monies. The monies are there. And we don't even have the vaccines. It appears that we have not been even chasing them and all that. And then we are the same country that went asking, begging for these medications. And the medications come, and for a year, I mean, Edwige says I should ask you about the efficacy of the medications because of the period that they've been at the port and all that. I mean, Oko, it is probably only in Ghana that this will happen.
Yes.
And people will still have a job.
But someone even suggested that those who were heading that unit deserve even more than relocation in terms of what should happen to them.
I will even go beyond there because these are issues that even go beyond. Yes, a unit has maybe some operational responsibilities, but this issue of Gavi, and I'm saying that these are issues that have come into the public domain. I don't work at the ministry, yet I have been apprised with all the issues around this. So what about those who work there, superintend over the place and all that? I don't want to pitch you against predecessors and all that. But obviously, this is
you know, let me just state that I'm happy one assertion I made, in fact 2 assertions I made have not been disputed. One,
you don't know what I'm coming to talk about. You don't know what I'm coming to talk about. You will be here. Inke? Randy, 2 things I said. One, I said that I know Oko Akegomojile. I said that here. I'm happy that he's been able to show Akegomojile. Secondly, I'm also happy that it is clear that there is still TB medication at the port. But Randy, there's a difference between opposition crying and the people in government who have the responsibility to do the work crying.
But I'm not crying. George, give me 30 seconds. You see, I'm not crying. I have also told you that.
You are
no, communication. I'm not appearing helpless. No. I've told you I've taken steps. And no matter how efficient or well-intentioned you are, there are procedures in government.
Yes.
If I'm told the money must be paid through giftness and it takes 48 hours, Oko can use his macho to make sure it is 6 hours. But I've told you that I would not let bureaucracy take me beyond 2 weeks. And that should I get there, because that's what I told you.
So I'm not
helpless. I
haven't said you are helpless. Yes. I'm just saying that, look, the statements, what we are interested in